Well, today is Earth Day, and there are plenty of ways to celebrate the place we call home. The cleanup's happening around Portland Plus.
Quite frankly, it was shocking to see that she could, our sister could fire our mom's lawyer of over 20 years.
A lawsuit underway in Southern Oregon between family, while lawyers are saying the claim is filled with fake information and made-up cases. And later, a high-speed chase down a Washington interstate made even more dangerous. What police say the suspect did to get officers off their tail. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green. Rod Hill, Chris McGinnis are joining me now to look at your weather and traffic.
Hi, I have rain behind me on the radar. I've got rain out my window that's just off to my left as well here in downtown. The solid rain is slowly progressing to the south. So if you're watching us from Salem, it's cloudy, but it's dry. You'll probably dry for at least another hour, I would say. But Portland, the rain is just starting to become widespread throughout the metro, and again advancing to the south. There is our state capital, 50 degrees, and here is downtown Portland looking up toward the Moda Center along I-5, and I think you can tell it is now raining. The report is from PDX out along the Columbia where it's 50 degrees. This will be steady rain now all morning, still at noon into the afternoon. Later today it will end. It will only be about 56 degrees. That's actually pretty similar to yesterday's cool temperatures for this time of the year. Here's Chris.
Certainly cool. Up and down go the temps. All right, it doesn't look like the rain has made it to Tualatin just yet, but stand by. This is I-5 through the 205 interchange in Tualatin. Meanwhile, it is raining and it is slowing the drive right now through North Portland. Your I-5 South commute is really bunched up once you cross the interstate bridge. There's the live look at the Expo Center. We're moving along there at about 10, 12 miles an hour at best. So 27 minutes to drive in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Elsewhere there you can see Banfield traffic pretty slow now both directions in from 82nd Avenue. Rain has gotten out to the west side. This is out at the Sylvan Hill. Rain on the camera lens there for sure. And right now the drive in from Hillsborough has jumped up to 27 minutes at last check. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Well, new this morning, Woodburn police are asking for help identifying a hit-and-run suspect they say injured a juvenile bicyclist. They say the crash happened around 12:40 p.m. on March 30th near the McDonald's Mount Hood Avenue. The driver is described as an older male with a gray beard. The vehicle, a black pickup truck with a silver grille, possibly a GMC or Chevrolet. If you know anything, contact Woodburn Police. Portland City Council got to hear Mayor Keith Wilson's budget proposal for next year. It includes significant cuts, scaling back in the city's police, fire, and parks department. The mayor called it a very difficult process as the city faces a $160 million general fund shortfall. Dozens testified at the city council meeting yesterday. Most were against the cuts.
At a time when the city will have to make cuts, I would expect great consideration be given to the people who hold the system together.
Where you spend is where you stand. And it is not acceptable that you don't know the impact. Now you know.
The city has the money to save these jobs, and we're making a choice to not do that.
The mayor's proposal would cut $18 million from shelter services, potentially closing sites, including the Northrop shelter. The city council is still reviewing the plan and could make changes. Well, today is Earth Day. Between today and this weekend, hundreds of local people will volunteer for their time for a few major Earth Day cleanups. It's part of a larger push across Oregon and Southwest Washington this month. We have Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson talking about that. We're going to get to her a little bit later. But speaking of Earth Day, we have another good energy story to share with you to highlight all people, businesses, and communities doing good things for the environment. So Chris McGinnis has details on how Oregonians are saving some money.
Whether you own a home or a business, energy efficiency upgrades don't have to start big.
There are incentives available for everything from weather stripping around your doors and windows and insulation to some more efficient equipment inside your home, like a heat pump or an efficient water heater, all the way to those even bigger upgrades like getting solar on your home.
That support can help offset the cost of upgrades, ranging from small fixes to major equipment.
So it depends on your home, your location. There are some incentives available for different folks around the state, but they can range as much as $2,500 or so to help with offsetting some of those costs.
And those savings aren't limited to homeowners.
We've seen restaurants be able to cut thousands in their energy costs by making efficient upgrades to kitchen equipment. Things like fryers, vent hoods, and even the lighting in a kitchen space can help bring down some of those energy costs.
For renters or anyone without the ability to install solar, there are still ways to tap into clean energy.
One of the great opportunities is community solar. You don't have to be a homeowner to be able to still get access to clean energy like what we get from the sun.
It works by subscribing to a shared solar project and receiving credits on your power bill.
Yeah, so when you subscribe to a community solar project, you pay in a small portion of that, but then you get credits back to your utility bill, so you are saving even more usually than what you're putting in.
In Northeast Portland's Cully neighborhood, one of those community solar projects is already delivering power to local households, helping expand access to renewable energy without upfront installation cost.
So weather stripping.
And whether it's a small DIY project or a major upgrade, there's help available at every step.
It is possible to get energy efficient upgrades and see savings on your utility bills. Saving energy and money don't have to cost you anything necessarily up front. When you're ready to make those big efficient upgrades, there is help available.
Now, Energy Trust has hundreds of allied vetted contractors that specialize in this type of work. You do have the option to do it yourself as well, so long as you follow the specs necessary for your project. China, I'm not going to be putting solar panels on my roof myself. Back to you.
That sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah,
Yes.
Chris, thank you. All right, your time now is 8:06. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
Well, it's raining in Portland early on sunrise. Going back to the 5 o'clock hour, we had an early projection of about 8 o'clock. The rain would be dropping from the north into downtown Portland. That turned out to be a pretty good call. That's right about what has happened. You see Marion County right here, still all dry in Salem, but the rain's coming your way. I would say at the latest you folks start to have some rain in the 10 o'clock hours, you certainly still have another hour of dry weather. Maybe you have a couple of hours yet. This has been slow dropping down to the south. But here's where it is raining. In yellow, some pretty good rain rates out in the West Gorge, Troutdale up into Corbett. You've got dark green, some heavier rain in Mill Plain, Olive Clark, Cowlitz County. Rain has really started to pick up now out on the west side as well. That's mostly light rain coming in on the Sunset from Hillsboro into Beaverton, and then it's light rain into downtown Portland. Starting to see some raindrops in Lakeo and also down in Oregon City this morning. Here's the, and we have some rain up in Astoria as well. You can see it's a wet morning. There's the Astoria-Meckler Bridge, kind of on the foggy side as well. 52 degrees is the number up there in Clatsop County. So far, I think this is still dry, or if it's raining, well, it looks like maybe there's some light raindrops that have just started to fall. Okay, from the Salem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. So the rain certainly becoming more widespread and again dropping to the south. So we have a rainy day now into the afternoon hours. For traveling, you find drier weather the farther and farther south that you go. And don't forget, if you're traveling out toward the Blues and even into Pendleton, a mix of flood watches and snow advisories at 4,500 feet and the wind advisory. Pendleton's been gusting to 40 miles per hour from the west pretty consistently this morning. Here's our 7-day. Now, this will be the end of it. We had the rain yesterday. We get the rain today. We have the sun developing tomorrow, 63, and the sunny Friday. Keep an eye on Saturday's forecast. I may have to add a shower chance. Right now we have a shower chance on Sunday, but this is pretty weak stuff that we're tracking as forecasters. Here's back to Chris now. Yeah.
All right, Rod, in the last 30 minutes, the drive times have seen a big jump up. I mean, obviously more people are on the roads, but also, as Rod's mentioned, the rain has pretty much moved in across most of the metro area. Even just within the last couple of minutes, it looks like we're starting to see that rain get as far south as potentially Tualatin. We'll zoom in real quick. Here's one of our slow spots. The Banfield, really tight now coming in from 82nd Avenue. The drive times break down like this. About 30 minutes or so in on 84. That's from Troutdale to downtown. Over on the west side, inbound Sunset, about 30 minutes to get you in from Hillsboro. And here is probably the slowest 5 miles of freeway in town right now. The I-5 commute southbound from the Expo Center down to the Fremont Bridge. At last check, we're right around 28 to 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street to I-405. China?
Thank you, Chris. Today is Earth Day, like we've been talking about all morning long. And between today and this weekend, hundreds of local people will be volunteering their time for a few major Earth Day cleanups. It's part of a larger push across Oregon and Southwest Washington this month. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live with what you can expect. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, China. There are a couple of events happening. One of them set to take place later this morning, and hundreds of volunteers will spread out along the waterfront in downtown Portland. They'll be there to help clean up, work on cleaning up one of Portland's most iconic spaces, and this is Solve's Earth Day cleanup at Tom McCall Waterfront Park, happening from 10 to noon this morning. And it's a partnership with Portland General Electric. It's part of a larger effort for Earth Month, with more than 200 projects happening across the region. And volunteers will work together to remove litter and recyclables along the Willamette River and surrounding areas. Organizers say crews will arrive around 9:45 this morning, check in, collect their supplies, and get a safety briefing before they head out to help with those cleanups. And this isn't the only way to get involved this month. Forest Park Conservancy is also hosting Earth Day work parties on April 25th. That's this Saturday, to remove invasive species and restore native plants, along with free guided hikes in Forest Park and Markham Nature Park throughout the month of April. Organizers say all of these events are meant to bring people together. They're really aimed at helping those to get involved and clean up the areas they know and love in the community. China?
Our Corey Johnson reporting live. Thank you, Corey. And to celebrate Earth Day, the Portland Bureau of Transportation is hosting a citywide bike bus across town. Adults can bike along certain routes to work. Our Thomas Schultz joined us now. So Thomas, break down more of what's going on out there.
Well, China, look, we all know that Portlanders love their bikes, and if you look right behind us, you can see the first bikers beginning to arrive here. And of course, anywhere you go around town, you're gonna find bike lanes. Peabot is set up here on the waterfront. You can see they got their bananas. Those bikers just settling in after that bike ride across the city. They got bananas, all sorts of stuff for them. So here's how this bike bus worked today. There were 8 different routes across town so people could hop on their bikes and join in to celebrate a somewhat dreary Earth Day so far. Here's a map of those routes. You can see some of them stretch way out on the east side. One comes in from East Portland Community Center. There's a bunch up in North and Northeast Portland as well. And a couple of bike routes from southeast over from Johnson Creek and Woodstock Park. And don't worry, each ride will have a dedicated leader. They did. Check this out. Coming in hot here, guys. Along the waterfront, more bikers part of this bike bus today. You can see about half a dozen more of them coming in. I'm going to say that's either from the west route or maybe the southeast. They were coming from the south waterfront side. But guys, this bike bus just getting going here as they're finally reaching their destination. All these people going to work today. We're expecting a whole lot more of these bikers coming in just the next few minutes. China?
Very fun. Thank you, Thomas. Well, after a tough game 1, the Blazers making their presence in the playoffs known in game 2. In case you missed it, we got the highlights from last night.
Want more Sunrise? We got you covered.
You can stream an extra 2 hours of live morning news on KGW streaming apps.
Good morning.
That means more local stories and extended coverage of breaking news.
Plus live weather and traffic updates as they happen.
And this is our first trouble spot of the morning.
We have a gorgeous day coming up.
We are live on KGW Sunrise weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Stream on your time with KGW.
Matt, how long is this break in the rain going to last?
About another day, Christine. Again, another atmospheric river
hitting the northwest. This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
And now to what one lawyer says is the largest penalty they know of in the U.S. for using fake artificial intelligence in a court case. This all started with siblings fighting over who should inherit Valley View Winery in Southern Oregon after their mom died. And when the battle ended up in court, it took a strange turn. Libby Dowsett explains.
Mark and Michael Wisnowski have worked at their family's Valley View Winery in Jacksonville, Oregon, for decades. Their parents, Frank and Ann, purchased it in 1971, where they raised 4 children.
That legacy is something that Michael and I are very proud of, that we have been able to continue the dream of our parents for the last 40 years.
So they say it was a shock when their older sister, Joanne Couvrette, filed a $12 million lawsuit, claiming their mother wanted the family winery and land to go to her and her eldest brother, not Mark and Michael, who ran the business.
Quite frankly, it was shocking to see that she could, our sister could fire our mom's lawyer of over 20 years and less than a week later entirely change the will.
Mark and Michael's Portland attorney, Sandra Gustitis, said the estate plan was clear before their mother began to show signs of dementia.
She wanted to make sure the sons could continue running the winery, and so she changed her estate plan to say, rather than split the land 25% amongst the 4 kids, at the time of my passing, the 2 brothers who own the winery will buy out their siblings from their interest in the land.
The brothers fired back with a claim against their sister, and that's when their attorney says her team started noticing made-up cases and fake information in the briefings they were receiving from the sister's attorney.
Total bogus. So again, there may be a case called State v. Doe, and then when you type in the actual numbers, that may also point you somewhere, but those 2 things don't match, and so that in and of itself is a completely made-up case.
She says when anyone submits a brief or signs one, they are confirming the information is an accurate statement of the law.
There were quotations, like full quotations in quotes, associated with a Court of Appeals opinion that were incorrect quotes.
Gustitis says even when they warned the sisters' lawyers about the false information, the AI hallucinations continued.
You just don't see a regular lawyer doing that. And that's because the lawyers apparently, by their own admission now, were not part of it.
The brothers believe their sister supplied the AI research citations to her lawyers, and no one appears to have verified the information. We tried reaching out to Couvrette through her past and present attorneys with no response. The judge in the case not only dismissed the sister's claims against her brothers with prejudice, he imposed a list of hefty sanctions against Couvrette's attorneys, adding up to more than $100,000.
This was the biggest sanction nationwide that we've seen. Some of them may be filed under seal or they're not public knowledge, but as far as we know, this is the largest sanction in the U.S.
Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
AI, man, it's a getting scary.
Thinking of my inheritance. So my folks are still alive, but they split up some stuff. So what I wanted, and I got it. It's a little ceramic cookie jar with a squirrel on it, because I remember it was always on my grandfather's coffee table when I was a kid. So I wanted that.
Yeah.
So I have that now.
Yeah.
Probably cost $7.50 in the dime store, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's mine now.
You got it.
And that's the Hill family saga right there,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Here's our not Doppler radar, but our watch warning map from the Weather Service. Just heads up and notice the area. This is very active weather, obviously from Wasco County, including Maupin, all the way out into Pendleton and up into the Blue Mountains. So just realize you need to be aware of what the weather is doing, what the forecast is. if you're going to be traveling through this area, which does include 84. NWS has a wind advisory up for this region until 11 o'clock tonight. Potential gust of 55. We've had gust of 40 out in Pendleton. And then heavy rain amounts could produce some problems. 2 to 4 inches of flood watch up. And then White above 40 or at 4,500 feet and higher, 4 to 8 inches of snow could fall. So we're watching that. Here's the rain map. This is over the past 2 days. We picked up about 0.3 of an inch of rain for the calendar day yesterday, and we could be equaling that today. But in the rain gauge, the big winner here so far over the past 48 hours is Astoria at 66/100ths of an inch. Our upper level low, which is the reason we have clouds and rain, has started to push inland as expected. It will continue to move off to the east, and as it does so, our rain chances will be ending overnight tonight, and we'll get into some dry time on Thursday and Friday. But in the meantime, the circulation around this up and then back down. So all of the moisture up in Washington, and you can see it, it's starting to pull and shift back down to the south in Oregon. Here is Portland. Again, the rain is marching to the south. We've picked up rain now across much of the Portland metro, if not all of it. Oregon City picking up light rain. Portland light to moderate rainfall. It's been raining all morning when you get up into parts of Clark County and certainly up into the center and up north into Kelso, Longview. You can see the heavier rain amounts in yellow rate-wise out into the West Gorge. Rain potential today, again, about like yesterday, around 32/100ths of an inch looks to be potentially there for Portland in the gauge. The rain is now falling. I think it's still steady into the afternoon hours. At some point early mid-afternoon, we'll start to see this begin to fizzle and break up as it drops to the south. It is raining in Lincoln City, so we've got rain up and down much of the coast right now. There's our Lincoln City Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. And now with the rainfall, you can clearly see the bricks are wet in downtown Portland with a temperature of 50 degrees. Everybody has clouds, so nobody's cold. Ben was 34, but now warming all the way up to 43 degrees. And there is precipitation in the Central Oregon forecast. Last time I looked, Sun River Resort was actually partly cloudy. All right, forecast. We have the rain today. We have the dry weather Thursday and Friday. Saturday might be dry, but we start at least a rain chance. A shower chance looks a little bit better on Sunday. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Showing up on more of our freeway cameras, we'll take you out to the west side. This is Highway 26 out near Bethany Boulevard. Obviously, well, probably not hard to tell which direction is the eastbound commute. There's certainly the busier one this hour, the Wednesday morning drive. We'll switch gears real quick in Tualatin. Still looking to see if there's any dampness on the road there. Maybe just now starting to see some light rain. Certainly as this traffic heads northbound up into the Twilliger curves, that's when it does start to get a little wet. And last but not least, door number 3 here. It's raining on the Banfield and the drive is plenty slow there. Right now you got 30 minutes or so to get you in from Troutdale, 30 minutes or so from Hillsborough and the I-5 drive across the Interstate Bridge. Not bad on the Vancouver side of things. You hit the lineup though right around the Expo Center, and from there we're riding the brake the rest of the way down to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris. The car that crashed into the Willamette River earlier this month has finally been pulled out. Now crews fished it out.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Support is growing for Oregon State pitcher Tyler Bellerose. He was recently involved in a serious car crash. On social media, OSU shared a link to a Give, Send, Go campaign to help him out. According to the post, Bellerose suffered a traumatic brain injury. In the crash, he can't move one of his legs and has limited movement in one arm. The goal of the campaign was to raise $50,000 to help Bellerose and his family. At last check, it's already blown past that goal with more than $65,000 raised. Down to last night's razor-thin win by the Blazers against the Spurs to tie up the playoff series. The Blazers just a few points ahead with seconds to spare. Major moment in the fourth quarter when Denny Avdia sets up Robert Williams III with a slam dunk to put the Blazers up by 3 with just 12 seconds to go. Portland takes the game 106-103. Game 3 is on Friday at Moda. Tip-off is set for 7:30. We'll have more highlights from last night's game coming up at 8:30. And coming up on Sunrise at 8:30, we head back out to the Ag Fest, where Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson shows us everything underway in Salem.
On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Woodburn police are asking for help identifying a hit and run suspect they say injured a juvenile bicyclist. They say the crash happened around 12:40 p.m. on March 30th near the McDonald's on Mount Hood Avenue. The driver is described as an older male with a gray beard. The vehicle, a black pickup truck with a silver grille, possibly a GMC or a Chevrolet. If you know anything, contact Woodburn Police. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
Yeah, we are cloudy. We're generally in the low 50s out there this morning. We're watching all this rain, which slowly but surely keeps easing down to the south. Pardon me, it's coming down from the north. Salem dry. We've been saying look for rain maybe around 10 o'clock-ish into Salem. That still looks to be a reasonable statement. Meanwhile, Portland, it's widespread rain, including out on the west side now. out into Washington County. Here's the reserve golf course from the Explore Tualatin Valley camera with the raindrops. We're at 50 later this afternoon, and we will become dry again with a high of 56.
No, a farm in Vermont welcomed in 6 little lambs, all from the same ewe. That's right, she delivered all 6 of them. Sextuplets are said to be 1 in a million occurrence. The farm's owner says it was definitely a surprise because the veterinarian predicted twins for the mother named Timu. Now the farm is looking for names for the new arrivals. Look how cute.
Wow.
Oh.
The veterinarian predicted twins. That's like forecasting 2 inches of snow and you get a foot, by the way.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
No.
Little off. Little off.
That poor mama, she needs a break.
I know. Oh, poor thing.
Really cute. They look like they're related too, I might say, right? They all.
Okay.
They did.
Yes.
Yes.
Great job.
Yeah, identical lambs there. We've got Doppler radar. We have the rain that's dropping down to the south. It's now extended the rain shield, if you will, all the way out into Astoria and Tillamook. But we know we have reports of rain also not being picked up by radar down into Lincoln County. Salem still being reported as dry. Looks like you have maybe another hour of dry weather, or by 10 o'clock I would think it's raining down in Marion County as well. Hefty rain amounts rates-wise coming down into Longview, and it is snowing up at Timberline, but Government Camp's been holding above freezing up in the Cascades. All right, Salem, again, dry. We're trying to figure out if you're going to be wet before 10 o'clock or not. Right now you're at 50 degrees. It is raining in Portland, and that looks like an I-5 crawl coming in to the cities. We look at the Moda Center. Temperature is 50 degrees. This will be now steady rain easily into the afternoon hours. So raining at noon with little temperature variance, 52 degrees. At some point, mid-afternoon, or let's say 2 o'clock or after, we'll look to start drying out. We'll be about 56 at 5 p.m. Now for dry time today, if your travel plans take you to the south, if you keep going south and going south, eventually you'll dry out. We have the hefty precipitation expected out over the Blue Mountains. Remember, we have a combination of wind advisories, flood watches for heavy rain and snow at 4,500 feet in elevation out toward the Blue Mountains today. All right, 56 in Portland. We'll be dry tonight. Tomorrow we open up sun, 63. Friday looks great, 70. Saturday, I would say there is a shower chance, but we're looking at a weak setup. It looks more reasonable to me right now that Saturday stays dry and Sunday gets into, maybe there is some rain that starts to pop. Temperatures look okay, though. Here's Chris.
That's weak, Rod.
That's weak.
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 Rain on the weekend. Weak. All right, now we've got rain out there this morning, which is making for, or adding to the fun on the roads. By fun, I mean you've got lots of quality time with your radios. You hit the Highway 26 commute. There's the inbound drive right now near Cedar Hills Boulevard. From here, you can see all the way out to Murray, and then just a little bit farther than that would be the Bethany Boulevard on-ramp. In any event, right now we're up to about 34 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough, the trip out of Clark County. It's busy over the Glen Jackson Bridge. The I-5 commute, though, by far one of our slowest drives out there. 31 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China.
Thank you, Chris. A father accused of shooting another dad in a Portland school drop-off area has been found guilty on all charges. The shooting happened back in 2024 outside the Islamic School of Portland. Security video shows Noruddin Dib walking up to a car. The two men start talking, and eventually Michael Zachernay is shot. Dib was charged with multiple charges, including attempted murder. His defense team argued the shooting was in self-defense. He'll be sentenced next month. After more than 2 weeks, the car that crashed into the Willamette River is finally out of the water. On April 6th, investigators say the driver of this white Toyota Corolla sped off after an officer tried to pull it over. Portland police say the car was speeding through downtown Portland, running red lights and traveling in the wrong direction. 3 people died in the crash, and a 17-year-old passenger survived. The car was found about 30 feet deep in murky water.
It's pretty technical. The conditions in the Willamette right now are not ideal, obviously. Very low visibility, but we were able to get down there, get the job done.
It took crews most of yesterday morning to get everything set up and only a couple minutes to hoist the car out of the river. To Washington now, where new video from the Pierce County Sheriff's Office shows a dangerous high-speed chase where the passenger of a stolen car started throwing stuff out the window. It's hard to make out, but the object highlighted in this video is actually a chainsaw thrown at the squad car. On Sunday, deputies spotted the vehicle minutes after it was reported stolen, leading to the chase down I-5. The car ended up going off-road near Joint Base Lewis McChord, where the two men inside the car ran away. The K-9 team was called to make the arrest.
Hey, you see him? Get that guy, Debo! Hands up, hands. Show us your hands. Hey, crawl out slowly, man. Crawl out slowly. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands where we can see him. Crawl out slowly. Somebody got hands? Let's go. Hey, hurry up, we're on the same down. Slowly. Let's go. Atta boy, Debo. What's that guy?
Yeah, Nemo got him. Passenger needed a treatment for that dog bite. He and the driver are facing multiple charges. Well, coming up tonight, a KGW investigation into veterans fighting a rare and devastating disease and fighting the government for the benefits they've earned. Here's investigative reporter Kyle Boshi with a preview.
The disease is called inclusion body myositis, or IBM. It's rare, it's incurable, and it slowly takes everything. As part of our investigation, we'll introduce you to a Southern Oregon veteran who spent 21 years serving his country in the Air Force and the Air National Guard, working on some of the most advanced aircraft ever built. Today, Greg Rathburn can't lift his arms, can't move his legs, and can't adjust himself in a wheelchair. His wife Lori retired early to take care of him around the clock. For years, they've been fighting the VA for service-connected disability benefits. Benefits they say would help cover medical equipment, home modifications, and the mounting costs of full-time care. The VA has denied Greg repeatedly, saying his condition was not caused by his service. But here's what makes this story bigger than one man. Advocates believe veterans may develop IBM anywhere from 6 to 19 times more often than the general public. And yet the VA continues to decide each case individually, with no presumption that military service plays a role.
I fully, wholeheartedly believe that his exposures during the military service is what caused this disease.
Look at me, live my life for a day. I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
His story, his fight, and what the VA is and isn't doing about it. Coming up tonight at 6, our full investigation. Kyle Boshi, KGW News.
Well, the Blazers pulled off a big win down in San Antonio last night to even the playoff series at 1 game apiece. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has more.
Well, this was a great effort by the Blazers to take Game 2 down in San Antonio against the second-seeded Spurs. It all started with Scoot Henderson, who dropped 31 points. Early on, he helped the Blazers go on a 13-0 run to take a double-digit lead. In the second quarter, though, this game really changed when Spurs star Victor Wembanyama went down hard and hit his head. He's now in the league's concussion protocol. With 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, though, the Blazers were in a hole and needed some fourth-quarter comeback magic. They were down 14. They did go on to win 106-103. Here's Scoot Henderson on the mindset the team had heading into Game 2 against Wembanyama and the Spurs.
I feel like our mission was to just attack downhill. Like this game, it was going into it was don't be afraid to attack downhill while he's in there, while he's out. And once he went down, kind of thing, it's not a great thing, obviously, but for us, it was just get downhill, keep attacking, and keep opening shots up for everybody else.
Now the teams head to the Moda Center for Game 3, but we do have some bad news. The Blazers say they won't be offering a free playoff t-shirt to fans this year, which is general tradition. Instead, the team president hinted at something else in store for fans for Game 3, but a local company called Portland Gear is picking up the baton to fix up fans. The company says it will give out free shirts on Thursday at their flagship store downtown. No word yet on what the shirts will look like, but the store does open at 10 o'clock Thursday morning. And today, on Wednesday at Pioneer Courthouse Square, the Blazers will be bringing down a Rip City sign for fans to sign and also tack stickers of themselves cheering on the Blazers, stickers of themselves or them with their family. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
All right, your time now is 8:39. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at your traffic.
Wet out there, as Rod's been talking about. The rain has fallen and the drive times are up. Although, at last check, we're actually in a little bit better shape here in North Portland. This is the live look up near Marine Drive. The end of the line has inched a little farther south, but you certainly hit the brakes once you get down to, like, the Expo Center, for instance. Over on the west side, a long line of slow-ish moving traffic in the rain. That's the Sunset out near Cedar Hills Boulevard. Right now, it's a 32-minute ride from Hillsborough to downtown, 36 minutes gets you in from Wilsonville. Rod's been mentioning the rain across the region. It's raining up in the Cascade Passes right now. That's a live look at Government Camp. And raining out in the gorge as well, Interstate 84. Speaking of the gorge in Skamania County, again, this is important for folks between Bingen and White Salmon. SR 141 remains closed through the week as they continue that water main work. So the the 141 spur is your traffic solution. Obviously, with the change in the traffic pattern, expect some delays in White Salmon and Bingen because of that closure. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Well, you won't want to miss this. While Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson takes us to the Ag Fest after the break, we're also looking back to when Rod visited a couple of years ago.
Here at Shop TV Deals, we are always looking for products that make your life, well, just a little bit easier. We have got the perfect product for you today with Pure Sonic cordless handheld vacuum. It's more powerful than most. It actually picks up more messes than most. It's simple and it's easy. I love the fact that I don't have to lug out that big old vacuum cleaner to clean up those messes, whether they're large or small. You get two options here. You have a low setting. You also have a high setting to get into those really, really tough messes. But what's really unique about this is that it's rechargeable. So just by simply using that USB cord, this means you can take this vacuum indoors and out to the car as well. You get two attachments to get into those really tiny little areas or even clean up that carpet mess. Simple, easy, super effective, and of course, a really great deal for you today at 30% off. So while this normally runs $69.99, today you can grab yours for $48.99. Simple and easy. Scan that QR code or shop tvdeals.com.
KGW News at 11, tracking breaking news when every moment counts.
What an evening for neighbors as this all unfolded.
Alerting you when weather impacts your day.
Doppler radar showing all the rain over us.
Investigating the issues that affect our communities.
Investigative reporter Kyle Aboshi has our top story.
And highlights from the teams you love most.
The champs are here. The big stories and the facts first, so you can wake up prepared.
Stay up, stay informed with KGW News at 11.
Want more Sunrise? We got you covered.
You can stream an extra 2 hours of live morning news on KGW streaming apps.
Good morning.
That means more local stories and extended coverage of breaking news.
Plus live weather and traffic updates as they happen.
And this is our first trouble spot of the morning.
We have a gorgeous day coming up.
We are live on KGW Sunrise weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Stream on your time with KGW.
Oregon Ag Fest is back this weekend in Salem, bringing hands-on fun and a closer look at where our food comes from. Starters reporter Corey Johnson has a preview.
Yeah, it's about getting families, especially children, connected to agriculture in a fun and hands-on way. And I'm here right now with Grace Faber, the Oregon Dairy Princess, to talk about the event. So what can people expect to see this weekend at the fairgrounds?
Yes, that's a great question. This is an incredible event. I've had the honor of going the past few years. And the goal of Ag Fest is to ensure that kids and families especially can see where their food and all their products come from, and how they're all connected to agriculture in some way.
That's so exciting, and not only will they get that educational benefit, but there'll be hands-on activities and tractor rides like what we're seeing take place right now.
Yes. Are you guys ready? Yes. On your marks, get set, go!
Go, go,
And
go!
they're off.
So we have tractor races like this one. We have bottle feeding for calves, goat milking. There's going to be so many things that people can learn about. We also have one of our friends right here. This is Fantasy. Hello. And so getting into the importance of talking about the dairy industry, why is that important to highlight this weekend?
Yes, it's so important for people to see the dairy industry because a lot of people don't get to see how well these animals are taken care of, how much they're loved, and the nutritious product they produce. Kids get to see hands-on. Oh, I've never met a kid who hasn't liked playing with a baby calf, and that is the truth. And we like for kids to be able to work with their hands. They get to feed these calves like we saw earlier, and just see the side of the dairy industry that not everyone gets to see nowadays.
Exactly, and I mean, this is a great event for the next generation of those who want to join the industry. Talk about why that's needed.
Yes, it's really important for people to see how we are growing in agriculture as well. One of the things we're doing this year that's really cool is we do have a dairy show, a youth dairy show that we're putting on at AgFest that people can come see, which I think is really helpful. They get to see how even these young kids are able to work with these animals and train them and see how much of a sweetheart they are.
Exactly, and it looks like our tractor race just finished. Maybe our buddy Carter taking the lead there. So this is such an exciting event, educational for all ages, of course, and families to come out and learn about the Oregon Ag Fest. And it takes place this weekend, both days. Back to you.
Lot to do for the kiddos there. All right, your time now is 8:46. Rod, you're on the roof.
Yes.
Raining?
Can you? Well, I don't know. Can you hear it in my mic at all? It's the splitter, splat. No. Okay. All right. But it's raining. Yes. It's noisy up here, and there's a noticeable breeze. The forecast is southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. The breeze is definitely coming up from the south here on the KGW Weather Deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. We do have a cover. Thank you, Rick's. It's fantastic. Let's get you out the door. This is a rainy morning. The rain will be breaking up here in Portland this afternoon, but not until we're well into the afternoon. The watch warning area that I want you to be aware of, you folks that live out in these areas, or if you're going to be traveling on 84, please get an updated forecast or realize what the weather is doing. The Dow's under a wind advisory all the way into Pendleton until 11 o'clock tonight. West gust could reach 55 miles per hour. So far, there hasn't been much wind at the majority of the reporting sites until you get out closer to the Blues, where the winds have been gusting to 40 miles per hour. Also, flood watch in green, 2 to 4 inches of rain could fall, and at 4,500 feet, snow advisory, 4 to 8 inches. So that's the most troublesome part weather-wise of our region today. Look at all the rain up into Washington, and you can see a circulation. Look at my blue arrows. All this is now bending back down to the south, which means all that rain in Washington is now moving back across the Columbia into Oregon. And here is the radar. It is raining solidly across all of the Portland metro now, including out into Happy Valley, out into Sherwood. You can see the rain coming down at a pretty good clip, where you see the yellows, including up just north of the center and Amboy in Clark County. This will be a steady rain now, probably up until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Certainly still raining at noon. Somewhere 2, 3 o'clock in there, we think it starts to shift to our south and off to our east and get out of here. But in the meantime, weather projections show Portland picking up about 32/100ths of an inch of moisture today. That will equal the past 24 hours that we picked up. So pretty good April soak for us. You can see over 1/2 inch of rain to come today out in LeGrand projected. There are the raindrops on the lens, the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront camera. Looking south across the Columbia, 50 degrees is the temperature there. Like yesterday, our numbers won't do much in the temperature department because of the clouds and the rain. We're sitting at 50 now from Kelso all the way down into Eugene, as a matter of fact. We will need some dry time mid to late afternoon just to get up into the mid 50s. We have a couple dry days coming. Tomorrow, 63. Friday looks beautiful, 70. Saturday, I'm eyeing a shower chance, but I feel like right now the odds still favor it being dry, but keep an eye. I have added that shower chance to Sunday. And now, on a rainy Wednesday morning, it's time for our birthday party, and we have a big one today. First up is Tony. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a really wonderful birthday today. We have Parker, who is 7. Great pick. Happy birthday to you. Also celebrating today's Cole with his dog, it looks like. Happy birthday, 10 years old today. Kinsey is 11, double ones there. Happy birthday to you. And celebrating on this Wednesday, Bianca's now 43 years young. Hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family. And Lynn celebrating 66 today. Great family shot there. Happy birthday to you. Nancy is 70 today. Happy birthday. And also celebrating today, Rose is 71. Looks like a big Go Oregon Ducks fan there. Craig is 72. Happy birthday to you. And I think we have one more. Yeah, there's Richard, 88. Enjoying a milkshake with a strawberry and maybe some hot fudge and all the fixings there. Happy birthday to you. All right, birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. It is wet, it's wet, it's wet, and it's wet. Chris?
You mentioned the rain, Rod. You know what we can hear in your microphone down here is the breeze. It sounds like the breeze is picking up out there as well. Rain falling on your morning commute. Let's give you a little round robin here across the region. We'll go to southeast Portland, northbound 205 from Foster up towards and through the Lentz neighborhood. That's starting to trickle along a little bit at about 19 miles an hour. Farther south, Clackamas to Oregon City, particularly slow and getting wet. In fact, let's take a closer look at that drive time to get on the freeway in Clackamas and head south to the I-5 merge into Tualatin. That's almost a half an hour, so that's getting busy. And then the I-5 northbound commute. Check this out near Capitol Highway. It is slow and steady from there up through the Twilliger curves and into downtown. 34 minutes now gets you from Wilsonville to I-405. We'll be right back.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, Woodburn police are asking for help identifying a hit-and-run suspect they say injured a juvenile bicyclist. They say the crash happened around 12:40 p.m. on March 30th near the McDonald's on Mount Hood Avenue. The driver is described as an older male with a gray beard. The vehicle, a black pickup truck with a silver grille, possibly a GMC or Chevrolet. If you know anything, contact Woodburn police. A father accused of shooting another dad in a Portland school drop-off area has been found guilty on all charges. The shooting happened back in 2024 outside the Islamic School of Portland. Security video shows Nordine Dib walking up to a car. The two men start talking, and eventually Michael Zachernay is shot. Dib was charged with multiple charges, including attempted murder. His defense team argued that the shooting was in self-defense. He'll be sentenced next month.
It is now raining out there pretty much all around the Portland area. The rain still not south to Salem, but I would say no later than around 10 o'clock you folks will start to get wet. We do have a couple dry days coming tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday stays dry as well.
All right, the rain coming down, the drive times climbing. Let's go ahead and look at one of them. There you go, I-205 from Clackamas to Tualatin. That is thick. That's just south of Clackamas, and right now you're looking at almost 30 minutes to get you from Highway 224 to the I-5 merge. Some of the other drive times still running healthy or slow. 33 minutes right now, the drive in from Troutdale to I-5.
Hey, in case you missed the last few hours of sunrise this morning, our Corey Johnson has been live at Oregon Ag Fest, and she just showed us a little tiny tractor race. So we're using that as an excuse to bring back this clip.
Oh, yeah. Am I going to fit? Are you kidding me? Look at that. Whoa. I really don't recall that I think I did start the race.
Don't look like it.
That's a false start, Rod.
So, you know, the one gentleman, I can't remember the boy's name, who looked like he was doing really fast. And it looks like it's an easy sport, riding the baby John Deere.
Sport.
But as we just saw, this is a very difficult competition. And perhaps I didn't have the training that the other youngsters had.
Yes, you just weren't stretched out properly, right?
You had to work on your mechanics a little bit. You had to warm up and stretch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And to you good folks at John Deere, you need to have some better weighting on the front part of your tractors.
Our little athlete. A reminder that you can watch Sunrise every day live exclusively here on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. We've also added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day.